Well, I guess if I would have looked closer when I pulled this engine and pulled the starter and motor mounts off, I would have seen that obviously this oil pan is defective. It's just all kinds of warped and, you know, got some funny business going on right there. Of course, on the other side, there's a little bit of that too, so I got a bolt. I can't get out on this side until I bash it back in, and a couple bolts on the other side. Fun. Well, good we didn't spend too much time seeing if this thing would crank. Speaking of crank, you can see the crank journal without the rod on it. It's a big beat up shit. I think the windage tray is probably not any good. And yeah, it broke the oil pump off. So I guess now we're gonna have to buy a new one of those. Dang it. Well, she was a good old Pontiac from Sunshine, South Miami, and maybe she'll shine another day. I think the block might be alright, although it still remains to be seen. Not so sure that the crank should be saved. Probably not. Yeah, I don't see what the fuss is about. This motor turns over just fine. See? I mean, it's only got 2 pistons and 3 rods in it with no main caps, but it didn't have any spun main bearings. That's kind of a pretty good divot there, and I think this crank might need to be turned into scrap. Yeah, even the oil pump push rod is bent. So I know there's at least one hole in one cylinder. I gotta get the rest of these 3 rods out, and then I can lift the crank and see if it's just one sleeve it needs. It's pretty hammered up around the top where it was mulching all the aluminum. So I don't know, I'd like to think that it's sleevable, but well, anywho, probably not selling this to Robert. I'll be sending him a message later. Well, I'm leaning towards scrapping it. You can see obviously this is the big sleeve cylinder, but you can see how bashed it is, which that's pretty much cosmetic. But if you notice this semicircle, that's supposed to be circular. That's a sort of a guidance casting for the oil pump push rod, which granted it doesn't write against it, but it just shows you, the violence of all that. That might be the deal breaker. Just, and then you got more gouges here in this one, so that might bore out, might not, but it would be below the skirt, so it wouldn't really affect it. The crank's garbage. So, well, at least I got this thing had good coolant in it, so it's got a nice timing cover and accessories, and the heads are perfectly good, and the intake and distributor. So those are my positive takeaways. So if one needed a 65 looking engine, the entire top end could go on a 400 with the dual pattern pistons that are in most of them already out there. So there's that. So anyway, that's going to be it for the blowed up, not salvageable is what I'm leaning towards. Although, if it was the last one on Earth, yeah, sure, probably could save it, but I don't know. Probably not.